One of the big topics of conversation here at the Mackinac Policy Conference this year is education. Education in Michigan and how we can get our students better educated so they can be that workforce of the future. Joining me right now is Dan Varner. He is the CEO of Excellent Schools Detroit. Dan, thanks so much for joining me.
It's great to be here, Christy.
For people who are not familiar with Excellent Schools Detroit, give us a quick idea of what your organization does.
Sure. We're an organization that's committed to creating the conditions necessary to ensure that every Detroit student gets an excellent education, cradle to career by 2020.
That's an ambitious goal.
It is, tremendously ambitious, but we've got great partners that we do it with. We actually work with a coalition of organizations, civic entities, education organizations, community-based partners, and educators themselves across the continuum, cradle to career, to get this done.
So you're looking at curriculum, but you're also looking at families and parents and how that all folds together. And I say that it's an ambitious goal. How do you go about starting to tackle that?
With lots of different partners. Really, we've got kind of 4 levers that we're interested in. One is high quality new schools. So every new school that opens, whether it's DPS or charter or EAA, needs to be as high a quality as possible. We want to see schools that are poorer, because we have so much more capacity than we need in Detroit. Schools closed on the basis of quality, not other decisions. We want to see mediocre schools get better, and we want to see families, maybe most importantly, choosing the highest quality educational option available to them.
Okay, so when we sit back and we look at the state of education, public education, and also charter schools and the EAA in the city of Detroit, what are we looking at right now?
A system that has underperformed historically, of course, for the last couple of decades, and I think we've all seen that and know that to be the case from the results that we've gotten for kids. But we've got some bright, shining lights out there, and we're governance neutral. So we think that there are bright lights in DPS. We think that there are great examples in charter schools. We think that there are a couple of EAA schools that are probably high performing based on their early returns that we're seeing. And we think that there are some good private schools. We also think that there are bad schools in every one of those systems. That governance is not the magic bullet here, that it requires a lot of stakeholders to work on a lot of different things in order to improve academic outcomes for kids regardless of the governance system involved.
And Excellent Schools Detroit has a report card of sorts, don't you?
We do.
You rate schools?
We do. We're really excited. This July, the end of July, we'll release our scorecard, which for the first time will have a letter grade attached to every school that educates Detroit children. Hopefully next year we'll even include some suburban schools that are educating Detroit kids in significant numbers. That score is based not just on the proficiency data from the state, but also on student growth data, on student and teacher surveys for the first time being done citywide in the city of Detroit.
That's great to know.
Community reviews, so community members show up unannounced and visit schools and assess them on quality, and points for the difficulty of the work. So if you're a school that's got a high population of special needs students, that's taken into account as opposed to as compared to a school that doesn't have a high population.
For parents and people who want to learn more about what you're doing, where can they go?
www.excellentschoolsdetroit.org. The scorecard's available at scorecard.excellentschoolsdetroit.org. And they can always give us a call at the office. We're in the phone book, we're on the internet, so track us down.
Dan Varner, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me,
Enjoy
Christy.
the rest of your time at the